Welcome back everybody to another video on my channel, and it's another episode of my Championship weekend review. So we've got plenty of action coming up from the Sky Bet Championship, and as always we're going to get stuck into the weekend's action, give our opinions and cover all of the other major talking points from the past week leading into the weekend. So we're going to kick off with the Friday night fixture, Sheffield United home at Bristol City. I think it's on TV, I'm pretty sure it is. This will be a good game between two good footballing sides, like to play good expansive football, very easy on the eye, it's quite good in terms of attacking, and they're both quite solid defensively as well. Looking at the way Sheffield United are playing at the moment, they've gone for a little bit of a slump in terms of recent form. A couple of defeats to Fulham, a draw to Birmingham, and a loss to Millwall last week, where they probably wasn't really at their best, and they probably deserved to lose that game, in my opinion. And this will be another big test for them. They're going to face a Bristol City side who are in some good form at the moment. Seem to be grinding out some positive results in tough situations. They've shown they've got good character in the team. And they're gonna come up against Sheffield United and really test them again. It's going to be another big test for Sheffield United if they want to pass, if they want to try and get into the top two, maybe even the top six this season, which I'm sure they can achieve. They've got to pass this initial test of trying to beat the teams around them who can pose a strong threat to them. And look at the way this is going to go. I'm going to go with an away win. Actually, I'm going to be quite bold in this one. I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win. I just think the way Bristol City are at the moment, they're playing some good stuff, and I think they'll beat Sheffield United. Plus, they've got a lucrative cup tie against Manchester United and the Carabao Cup coming up soon, so they'll be trying to focus on that as well. But at the moment, I think they'll try and focus on the league, and I think they'll win this one 2-1. So we're going to get straight into the Saturday game, starting with the first 3 o'clock on Saturday. Aston Villa hosts Millwall. On paper, it should be a comfortable home win for Aston Villa, but the way Millwall have been playing recently suggests it could be an indifferent result to what many people could think, really. Because Millwall actually been playing some good stuff. Beat Sheffield United at home on Saturday, so it shows that they have the quality and the capability to beat the better team in this division. Ran Fulham quite close 2 weeks ago as well, away from home. Unlucky not to get nothing from that game as well. But Aston Villa are doing everything right at the moment. A good point against Leeds last week, coming back from a goal down at a tough place to go in Ellen Road. It's always a good sign that they've got good character in their team and they can push and keep getting decent results. Sitting well in the playoff place at the moment, but I'm going to go for a draw in this one. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. Even though Aston Villa are playing some good stuff, I think Millwall ain't playing too bad either. And I think away from home, they've got good character. They're going to be well drilled and well organised. And I think they could score a goal and get a point in this one. So it's going to be Aston Villa 1, Millwall 1. Kicking into the next game, Barnsley host Derby. Again, on paper, this game should really indicate an away win, really. Obviously, Barnsley haven't done too great recently. Struggling to keep clean sheets at home and even struggling for form on the road as well. Summed up last weekend in their 3-1 defeat away at Bolton Wanderers. It just shows they're struggling to get any sort of type of consistency to results. They've obviously lost to Leeds previously, last Saturday before that as well at home. So it's going to be another huge test to come up against the Derby side who are doing everything right so far, grinding out results, similar to Bristol City, picking up some good results, playing some good free-flowing football as well under Gary Rowett, a good manager in this league who's earned his stripes down at Burton Albion, obviously went to Birmingham, and now he's really starting to pick up at Derby. He's got a good squad together, and you can see why he was highly rated amongst Birmingham fans. He's getting a good tune out of some seasoned professionals in that team. The likes of Chris Baird, he's come into the side, and he's really starting to, at 34 years of age, I think it is, he's proved that experience is valuable in this league, and he's really getting some good performances together, and he's stringing some consistent performances together at his age as well in a tough league. So I'm going to go for an away win. I'm going to go for a 3-0 away win. I think Matej Vydra is in hot form at the moment. He's a good striker. Scored 9 goals, I think, this season. Maybe it could be double figures. I'm not too sure. And look at the way Barnsley are at the moment. I just don't see him keeping the clean sheet. I think they're a bit woeful defensively. And just another home loss for the Tykes, unfortunately. So we're going to kick straight into the next game between Burton Albion and Preston. Burton are in a similar position at the moment, rooted bottom of the Sky Bet Championship. Struggling for goals, struggling for clean sheets, and most importantly, struggling for points. If you don't get any of them three, you ain't got no chance of surviving in this ruthless league. Come up against the Preston side, who's starting to get their act together now. Managed to find a way to unlock a very well-drilled QPR side who went down to 10 men, and they found a way to win that game thanks to Jordan Hugill last Saturday. They're looking to try and come against another well-drilled, an organised side who would be tough to break down in Burton Albion. And I think Preston should have enough quality on the counter-attack. They've got good legs on the counter-attack, pace, power, directness that can hurt Burton. And for that reason, I'm going to go over 2-0 away win to Preston. And if this result goes through, it could be a long way back for Burton Albion in terms of them trying to stay in this division. Obviously, they've got one of the smallest budgets in the league this season, but it shouldn't really make much of a difference. They've got a good crop of players down there who are capable on their day of picking up some results, but I just don't see the result happening anytime soon. Moving to the next one, Fulham, my team, we play Birmingham Saturday. So this could be an interesting game for both sides. Obviously, Birmingham, we're going to talk about them first. Struggling for any type of, a couple of shots on target, I think wasn't even that lot on Monday night against Wolves. So they're struggling for some form themselves, struggling for goals and struggling to create any type of chances. They're going to be without Harley Dean in this game. He got sent off for a second bookable offence against Wolves on Monday night. And to me, something's got to change at Birmingham. I think they've got a good crop of players, spent a lot of money on trying to get into a top six. On paper, their team's a top six team, but you don't win games on paper. You've got to go out on the pitch and prove that. I think the injury to Isaac Vassell against Aston Villa, him being out for a while, is going to be a big miss. I think when they played two up front with Adams and Vassell, it really stretched other teams' defensive lines, because them two like to press and like to stretch teams, like to pull them apart, which would allow the midfielders playing in behind them to just move into that space and create more chances. But Birmingham have done they've got a good record at Craven Cottage. Last couple of games they've won 5-2 and 1-0 down there, so they've got a good record. And the way we're playing at the moment, Fulham, we're not playing fantastically well. Disappointing to come up against Brentford, to take the lead in such a big game as well, and then fall apart and concede 3 goals and get beat 3-1 is a problem. Ikanovich have done the scrutiny from many Fulham fans, including myself, in recent weeks. And if he doesn't get a good result here, then he's really got to try and prove that he's worth the club investing more money for him in January. The chance to get his own players might be a good idea for the club, but if he doesn't get any results, he could be out in his ear come the January transfer window opening. Looking at the way this is going to go, I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go for 1-1. It'll be quite a cagey affair, I think. Both sides don't really want to lose it, and for that reason, I think that both teams will score, but it'll be a 1-1 score draw. So we're into the next game, Hull versus Brentford. Obviously, Hull this morning appointed Nigel Watkins as the new manager, replacing Bender Slutsky, who was sacked on Sunday night. Nigel Watkins is a bit of a meh type of appointment, in my opinion. I think Hull have kind of rushed the whole process. I understand the situation they are, need to get someone in quickly, and to say they want to get a free agent, to me, indicates that they're showing no ambition in trying to maybe try and get a decent manager. I understand there's not much out there in terms of current managers who are unemployed at the moment. Nigel Watkins, I understand they had to get somebody in who knew the league. They couldn't risk taking another foreign import in, like Leonard Sutsky. You might take time to adapt. The thing they can look forward to with Nigel Watkins is he knows his league. He's got proven. He's won a couple of promotions with Scunthorpe, Southampton as well in Leagues One, and obviously he took Southampton out of this league. So he knows what it takes to get out of this league. But recent managerial jobs have suggested that he's not done too well. Obviously, guided Sheffield United to 11th in 2015-16. That was his last managerial job, and that was Sheffield United's lowest league finish for a long time. So they've really got to buck up their ideas, and they're going to come against a good Brentford side who will be in good form and fancy their chances against Hull after winning their West London derby last week 3-1 against Fulham. And I'm going to go over an away win in this one. I'm going to go over 2-1 away win. Hull do concede plenty of goals at home. They will score a goal, I feel. They do score goals, do Hull, but they concede plenty of goals at home especially, and their home record isn't fantastically great. And I think they're going to come up short and lose 2-1. So moving to the next game, Middlesbrough host Ipswich. Away win for me on paper. I think Ipswich are in better form at the moment. Middlesbrough are struggling to get any sort of consistency to results. 1 week they win a game, 1 week they lose a game. Very up and down at the moment. Gary Monk's finally found that his fine, strong first 11 that he's probably struggled to search for in terms of early on in the season. That's what you're normally going to get when you spend lots of money. You get a new manager, and it's going to take time for him to adapt to find his team, the team that he's going to stick with for the majority of the season, provided no injuries occur. But looking at the way Ipswich are playing at the moment, they're playing fearless football at the moment. Very good attacking style of football. It's very easy on the eye for fans to enjoy. Away from home recently, done very well against Derby to get a solid 3 points there. They've done well against Forest following that up as well, winning 4-2 at home to Nottingham Forest as well. So looking at the way it's going to go for me, I'm going to go with a 2-0 away win. I think that Ipswich are going to come well drilled, well organised, sit on the counter-attack as they normally do away from home. They're very good counter-attacking side under Mick McCarthy. And for that reason, I just don't see Middlesbrough scoring a goal, and it'll be a 2-0 away win to Ipswich. Kicking on into Nottingham Forest versus Bolton. Bolton on a little bit of a revival at the moment. Outside the relegation zone now, currently 21st, hovering above the relegation zone after their good win against Barnsley last Saturday. That's standing in good stead and good confidence going into a Forest side who lost 4-2 against Ipswich over the weekend, and their results and form at the moment hasn't been fantastically great. Obviously a defeat to Cardiff prior to that, so it's 2 defeats from 2 games for Mark Warburton's men. And it's been another physical test against the Bolton side who are going to come fancying their chances. They're on a good little run at the moment. Not doing too bad away from home on the road in terms of recent results, and I think this could be another draw in my opinion. I'm going to have a 2-2. Both sides leak a lot of goals, but both sides, again, similar to teams like Hull, they can score plenty of goals, but defensively, the floodgates will open up, and there'll be a score draw for me, 2-2. Kicking on to QPR versus Leeds, be a big game for QPR. Got a good home record against the bigger clubs this season. Obviously beat Sheffield United and Wolves in the space of 4 days earlier on in the season. Obviously an early season victory over Reading as well. Stands them in good stead at home. And they've become against a Leeds side doing another little bit of revival at the moment. Stages with consistent results together, stringing a win against Barnes and the draw against Villa together. 4 points out of a possible 6. It's not the worst thing in the world for Leeds in terms of them trying to get back to where they want to be this season. And looking at the way it's going to go, I do fancy them to go and win this game. I think although QPR are not doing too bad, probably unlucky to have Mackie sent off against Preston last week. They'll pose a good test for Leeds, a good physical test, and it will test the character and the management side of Leeds, but I do fancy Leeds to pull through this and win 3-1. So So moving to the next one, Wolves host Sunderland. I should really think Wolves should win this game. They've passed every major test they've had this season with flying colours, doing everything right this season in terms of them trying to go up into the Premier League. They looked very accomplished against Wolves. Against Birmingham, sorry. They won ugly against Birmingham. Probably wasn't at their best, but they managed to get the result thanks to Leo Bonatini's strike, thanks to the goal and technology giving that goal. And they're probably going to come against the Sunderland side. They're probably going to look to go 10 behind the ball in terms of without the ball, maybe even go 11 behind the ball when they're defending. And they're probably going to try and get a point out. This one's probably the best I can hope for Sunderland. And for this reason, I'm going to go with a 3-0 Wolves win. I think Wolves will do very well in this game. They should really breeze past a very below-average Sunderland side, in my opinion. Going to the penultimate game in this review, Norwich host Sheffield Wednesday in a 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. Norwich are going through a bit of an upheaval in results at the moment, not going too great at the moment, you know. Certain calls for Daniel Farke to go because the style of football is potentially a bit boring. As we know, Daniel Farke likes that possession style of football, and it's not easy on the eye for some from Norwich City fans who want to see a bit more creativity and attacking play. The quality they've got, lots of Ella Oliveira, Cameron Jerome, who both scores goals at this level, James Maddison and Alex Pritchard, players like that, you know, need to be getting them on the ball and probably playing a bit more of an expansive and more brave style of football with players who can, on their day, win you games. Coming against the Sheffield Wednesday side, do like to get the ball on the ground and like to knock it around and go a bit more direct sometimes. And they're going to give a good test for Norwich here, and I do fancy this to be a Sheffield Wednesday win, just for the fact I think they're a bit more bold and a bit more brave and a bit more ambitious in terms of the way they play, compared to Norwich, who are a bit more conservative and like to play the possession game. And I'm going to go with Sheffield Wednesday 2, Norwich City 0. And going into the final game of this predictions video, it's a Monday night fixture between Reading and Cardiff. Both sides in a good bit of form at the moment. Obviously, Reading are starting to pick up a couple of results now. 26 points has propelled them from near the relegation zone up into near the top half of the Championship. Good result against Sunderland, 3-1 over the weekend as well. Stands them in good stead. Coming up against a good Cardiff side who are unbeaten at home this season. They're stringing some good results together. Coming back from a goal down against Norwich City to win 3-1 shows good character on their side. And I do like the way that Cardiff are at the moment. I'm a big fan of Neil Warnock's team, and I think they'll win this one. A very, very tight game, but I do fancy Cardiff to run out 2-0 winners. So there you have it, guys. There is my Championship weekend prediction. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for some of the best EFL content on YouTube, and we'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.